Well, your question is how to manifest. That's a $1 million question, how to manifest things. Well, I would advise you to make a list. And that's a list A. And list B is a prioritization, how to prioritize what to do. In list A, you can start with hope. So there are many things you want to do. You may want to achieve 12 things or 15 things. Now in the hope list, in the hope basket, you may want to shortlist it from 12 or 15 things to do to 10 things that you hope will get done soon. Now you have to work at it, you have to filter it further. When you filter it further, you have to filter it further, and you got to convert the hope into desires. That out of 10 things that I hope will happen, there are 8 things I really desire that it should happen this way. So you're further shortlisted. And from desires, you have to graduate further after studying each thing and its priority, its intimacy with you, and its long-term goal and a short-term goal. You need to convert them into a short-term goal and a long-term goal, and then convert that what you have graduated out of hope into desires, further shortlist it into wish, that you wish this happens quickly. They're just not desires anymore. There's no concession. You're reducing the concession on it. So that now from 8 things to do, you have converted 7 of them or 6 of them from the desire list into wish list. And now you got to know more about those things in the wish list, because that's going to be a wish post and you cannot keep changing it. So you've graduated out of hope, you've shortlisted things to desires, from desires you've converted them into wish. That means you have now removed many impurities already around those hopes, around the number of things that you hope to get. So you're shortlisting, you're narrowing down, and you're eliminating the distractions and deviations on the way to achieve things. So you want to remove those things that need not be attended to immediately. From wish, you need to convert some of them into want and not just wish. So what happens is, you are now learning about it, you are attending more and more into it, you're removing things which are deviation and distractions from your wants, and you really need them. You're creating an infrastructure around you that will all support your wants. And now the infrastructure is ready, the people are ready, you know where to procure those things, you're working towards that, and now you're putting effort into your wants. So you've removed the hopes, you've removed the wishes, you've removed the wants, and now you brought them from the hopes into desires, from desires into wish, from wish into want, and from want you study about it, you're creating a domain expertise how to procure them and converting them into needs. Now it is shortlisted to just 4 things to get because you need them. And then you shortlist further by really start achieving step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4 until your needs of 4 things, all those 4 things are achieved, because you've already started to partially achieve them already. From the needs, you make it a necessity, and those will be just 2 things. You've started with 12 or 13 things, now just 2 things are your necessity, that almost it impacts your survival. And now you want to go for it, you've got the infrastructure around you to support it, you know the pipeline to achieve the necessities, you've created the potential for the resources to flow in to achieve your necessities, you have adequate domain expertise, you're a specialist in procuring those necessities that you have, and you have isolated yourself from all the distractions, deviations that otherwise would have taken your attention. For example, if you just have a very broad scope of hopes, and then you will not be able to zero in, target on your needs and necessities. Convert the necessities into inevitabilities. That means devoid of that, you may not just exist happily, and they become so now you somehow are driven now. There is a trigger, the trigger that can overcome the threshold of even despair, threshold of boredom, threshold of loneliness, that you started creating the work because this has become your necessities. And then devoid of any potential uh, diversions or impediments. Because you identify the impediments, you eliminate that. Now that has become your intention. Now even beyond necessities are your intentions, and now you're empowering your intentions, enabling your intentions, enriching your intentions, and eliminating all those things that are impediments for you to procure your intentions, and slowly you will find things around you manifesting the way you want to. So this is Vikalpa Rahita Sankalpa. That means there is no doubt, there is no confusion anymore. You are there to achieve it. You've already seen 80% of it achieved already, and final 20% you can leave it to intention, and your intention will start manifesting. So we are at Vikalpa Rahita Sankalpa. So what does it mean? It means to procure something, to achieve something, make a list of all the factors, all the components that must come together to make this manifestation happen of your necessity. We have now started with hope, converted into wish, graduated the wish into a desire, or from hope to desire, desire to wish, wish to want, want to make. From want we have graduated those few things that we have already shortlisted into a need. From a need it has become necessity. From necessity it has become inevitable, that it's almost required to survive. And from inevitability it has become the intention. Now for the intentions to manifest, we need to put effort, we need to exert, but we need to also let go of exertion. At a point will come when you need to call it a day, drop off, because there is a potency, and the potency is unmanifest, and the potency is waves, the potency is frequency, and this potency needs to connect with your effort, because you have now shortlisted exactly what you need. You have brought a very, very broad spectrum into perhaps articulated 12 items, shortlisted from 12 to 2, which is now become your inevitability and your intention. Now this intention, because of your effort, because of your exertion, because of the amount of attention you have put into it, because you have now secured, you have protected the infrastructure that you have built, so that in any which way the system has to work in your favor to manifest those that you have shortlisted as your need or as your necessity. Now there is a potency which is unmanifest, intangible. Now the potency is a frequency, and it is pulsating. The potency is pulsating, which is again unmanifest, needs to connect. And when it connects with your effort, with your exertion, with the exposure that you have got to procure this, you have narrowed down. You have perhaps even persuaded the bureaucracy, taken the legal sanctions, you have completed your resource building, you have put in effort to build the infrastructure so that the funnel is towards manifesting your intention. And now the potency has a pulsation and is a frequency which is unmanifest. When it connects, when it comes in contact with your intention, it manifests. But at that point, a little point is there when you may need to just simply let go, relax, and drop off all your exertions, all your efforts at that point, only after having done everything else. For example, now suppose you have there is a music concert, something that to die for. You have been waiting for this for a few years. You have accumulated adequate wealth to buy a ticket, and you're looking forward for the visit of your favorite musician. At any cost, you may want to be there at 6 p.m. 6 p.m. is when perhaps the music concert is scheduled to begin. It's exactly 1 hour drive from where you are. And at 5:30, you are still at the start point because of a traffic jam. Now suppose in your car there are 4 people. What kind of thoughts are they emitting? If you make a list of the things that are going on in their mind, it could be one person could say, I wish we had left earlier. It is traumatic experience. It is very stressful that we are stranded. How bad could the other road users be? Perhaps the government could have given a better infrastructure and all the effort has been futile and we are all stressed about it. And if such kind of expressions are documented and written down, and at 5:30 this is what's emitted inside the car from the 4 people who are stranded in the traffic jam, and if this manifests at 6 o'clock, you would not be a happy person. None of the people in the car who are awaiting this concert would be happy people. So at 5:30, you have written down, you have made a list of exactly what the conversation is happening in the car because of the traffic jam, because they can't make it, because it's an hour-long drive, and they're still at the starting point at 5:30, and the scheduled time of the concert, that very dear, very precious, valuable concert, is to begin at 6 o'clock, and they just cannot make it. So if it's at 6 o'clock, if whatever they have spelt out and listed at 5:30 in the car, if that manifested, none of you will be very happy. Whereas in reality, what you spoke at 5:30 is the precedent. It is not succeeding. The later succession of what you spoke is at 6 o'clock. So is there a link? Can you see a link between what list you have made and what is your experience at 6 o'clock? Now where should the intervention be to correct the situation, to correct how you feel about it, to correct what kind of words you express while you are stressed, to correct, to emote, to give the right, to emote the correct expressions at 5:30 when you're stranded. Because there are many possibilities could work in your favor at 6. It could be that artist as well is delayed and the concert began at 6:30. So there are many possibilities. So what is succeeding and what is preceding? And you will see that what you written down at 5:30 is preceding and the manifestation is succeeding. So therefore the correction perhaps not to be limited to tinkering the manifestations, but where it began at 5:30 in the car. So that's where the intervention could be. And that is vikalpa rahita sankalpa, an intention devoid of impediments. Now how to arrive there is the effort, the exposure, the exertion, the experimentation, and the work that goes into doing things. But then a specific point comes when we leave our exertions, when we relax from our exertions just so that we can rejuvenate and let the pulsating frequency of the potency connect with our effort and manifest. The intelligence will manifest your intentions. Welcome to the intelligence of manifestation.